your girl Bianca Blanc, and let's talk real quick. Sparkling wine isn't for everybody, okay? Not everyone wants to ring in the new year with bubbly headaches and champagne regrets. And that's cool, because the Wineaholic has got you covered. Join Mark Juno, the Wineaholic himself, bringing the wit, the charm, and all the wine wisdom you didn't know you needed. Let's dive into these bottle picks and make your midnight toast unforgettable.
Welcome back, and Happy New Year's to you. Although you'll probably see this before New Year's, or maybe shortly thereafter. I guess it depends on when you see it. Tonight I'm going to give you 5 wines that you can have for New Year's if you're not into the bubbly, sparkling wines, so to speak. Everybody doesn't want to drink a Prosecco or champagne or a Brut or whatever you have for New Year's. Sometimes you want something that you like, but you want a little different. So, you know what I'm saying? Like it, but different on my likes. So, for me, while I go over these 5 bottles with you, we have a bonus 6th bottle. It is a Da Milano Barbera d'Asti from the Piedmont area of Italy. I also have a case. I like this case. We'll get back to that in a second. But for now, we're going to go ahead and start off some of these wines here. So what I think you should understand is that everyone doesn't celebrate New Year's the exact same way. You know, a lot of people do go to parties, they get drunk, they kick it with all that stuff, you know, get real happy with friends and family. But that doesn't mean that's what everyone wants to do. Give me 1 second, please. I'm sorry. There you go. Yeah. Thank you. And sometimes people just want something different. So, we're going to start this off, we'll say that, with a Chenin Blanc. Why? Because it's a crisp, refreshing wine. It's good for toasting. You know, you would like it. It's light, you know, it's not going to be too heavy. And it pairs well with fresh salad if you are a vegetarian and like appetizers, or even vegan. You know, if you're vegan and you don't want no boiled egg and real cheese in your salad, there you have it. You can go good with that. Very good with that. Then we have a Gamay. Not sure how I feel about Gamays. I like the last part, May. It's the Gam part I'm not really sure about. I don't know if I've ever had a Gamay, though. That's the problem. Have I ever had a Gamay? Let me think. I'm sure I have. They're light. They're easy to drink. They have kind of like a juicy flavor to them. They're kind of juicy, if that makes sense for a wine. They're good as a casual drink. You don't really have to like be feeling like one of them snobs drinking wine when you're drinking one. As the name even sounds, it doesn't sound really fancy. It kind of sounds relaxing. Gamay. It's a little, you know, not Gamay, but Gamay. You know, whatever. Anyway, so with that, they claim it's good for snack boards. It's good with pizza. If you like pizza, I like pizza. That's probably why I'm a pescatarian still and not a vegan. One of the reasons. And cheese boards. Cheese and meat boards. I don't eat meat, and I rarely eat cheese boards. Yeah, I'm not really big into the cheesy board thing. But if that's your thing, then knock yourself out. Yeah. Malbec. Can't go wrong with a Malbec. Interesting story about Malbecs. The grape was dying out, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he was the president at the time of Argentina. which is why the majority of the Malbecs are grown in Argentina now, the grapes. And majority of your Malbecs are coming from Argentina. If you look at the bottle, you'll be surprised. What you learn. Anyway, so every April 17th, if I'm not mistaken, is International Malbec Day. Keep that in mind, because you might want you a Malbec on that day. Celebrate with the rest of those Malbec lovers. But let me pop this open first. That is the sound of cork releasing freshness. Good, wholesome freshness. So it's so funny when you're at I don't know why they do this, but if you go to a restaurant where they have the sommelier, when they present the bottle, they're also going to present you with the cork. I don't know why they do that though. Oh well, guess it's their thing. So the Malbecs, if you know what a Malbec is, it's kind of bold. They got nice tannins. It's good, I guess, if you're the type of person who drink wine and get hot, if it's cold outside, grab your Malbec. We'll just put it like that. It's kind of an easygoing wine. Now, me personally, I don't always like being around a lot of people, so I could sip on a Malbec and be completely by myself. But that ain't saying much, because I could sip on just about any wine and be completely by myself. I don't need nobody to drink with. But if I do have friends, I'm always willing to share. I have a rosé waiting on someone who likes rosé, because I'm not really big into rosé drinking. I also have a sweet wine that I might be willing to give away. Matter of fact, it's one of those Villa M's I've been telling you about. You might want that for New Year's, but that ain't on our list. So, that Malbec could be good with a hearty dish of beef stew and roasted vegetables. Or roasted vegetable. I guess if you got stew, you don't really need the vegetables because you got vegetables in your stew. But the roasted vegetables, now, there are days I go without eating meat. And I don't necessarily traditionally pair wine because I don't eat beef, so I can't pair wine like you would for those that eat like pasta with beef in it, or someone who would eat something that's like a heavier red meat, or even lamb or something like that. So roasted vegetables would be good for me. Now, this next wine, it took me a while to learn how to say this. It's cold outside, so you guys are going to hear that warmth kick in a minute. The furnace, that is. For those that live in hot weather climates that don't have furnace in their homes, I can't imagine you don't, but I'm sure there's some place to do. I can't imagine they got them at the equator either. Oh well. So, Gewürztraminer. It took a while for me to learn how to say that. It's a tricky word. But what I heard recently, even though I've already learned to pronounce that correctly, was to break it into two words. Gewürztraminer. Gewürztraminer. There you have it. So you want to sound fancy, you want to get that white wine that sound like ain't nobody ever heard of, and you damn sure know people can't pronounce it, or you want them. Gewürztraminer. So it's kind of like a tropical fruit flavors. It's I think it's from Germany. Gewürztraminer. It sounds German to me. I offhand I don't remember. I'm sorry. We'll get to that one day. I'll make sure that I correct this or bring it to light. Exotic for adventurous palates. Yeah. So the last time I remember having a Gewürztraminer, I don't think it was the first time. I was in the Finger Lakes region at Dr. Frank's, Constantine's. If you ever go to Finger Lakes, it is highly recommended that you go to Dr. Frank's. It is one of the oldest, no, I want to say it's the oldest winery out there. I'm not 100% sure on that. But the guy is known as the godfather of wine in the Finger Lakes region. He's have since passed on. His family still owns the place. It's a nice, cozy place. Go out there. Had a Gewürztraminer from there. I wasn't impressed, but I'm really just trying to get back into the white wine, so that's not really saying much. But it's slightly spicy, or supposed to be. I don't remember spices in it, but it's good for pairing with foods if you're trying to be adventurous, so to speak. So maybe if you've never had lobster mac and cheese or something like that, you might, lobster egg roll. If you can find a lobster egg roll. So it'd be good for that. But it goes good with spicy cuisine. So for those who like Thai food, I like Thai food. You like Thai food? I know I like Thai food. It's nothing like a good Thai curry. Usually when they ask you their spice levels between 1 and 5, you don't get much past that. It's kind of like the rating on star rating. I like to have a 3 or 4. Unless you like some spicy ass food, you probably don't want Thai food higher than a 3 or 4. And if you really can't stand like spicy food and you just want a little bit, like, I want it to taste like I put some black pepper, then you probably just want a 1. Maybe a 2 if you're adventurous. But this is supposed to be good with Thai and Indian food. I like Indian food too. They also cook with a lot of curry. Guess it's safe to say I like curry. Moving right along. Romantic and elegant. It's light. It's good for those that don't want a lot of high tannins but want a dry red. It's one of the wines. It took me a while to like, but I like them. At first, I just didn't like it. I didn't understand it. I didn't quite appreciate them. But as my palate evolved, and yours will too, keep watching me, it'll evolve. I'll have you drinking all kind of shit. But anyway, as your palate evolves, you will too learn to enjoy it. Give me 1 second. Got some good tannins. It's kind of hard to describe this one. We'll get back to that. What am I talking about? No. I am talking about the Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir. I think Pinots are good for those that are starting out and drinking dry reds. You don't really want a lot of tannins. You don't want it to be full bodied. You want something that you can tolerate drinking coming from like the sweet world, if that's what you're into, or if you're moving from like whites, because a dry white and a dry red is different. But you can kind of transition from that dry white. Every time I record, that cat seems to get into the picture, to a dry red. I don't know what it is with him, but he just seems to keep on just every time. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I could probably personally have a Pinot with just about anything I'm enjoying if I'm going to pair it with food. But I could also have a Pinot with a second glass of Pinot. You know what I mean? So they're silky, they're elegant, and they have a nice nuanced flavor. It's a go-to wine for there's that cat again. A go-to wine for romantic dinners and intimate celebrations. So when you really want to turn it on before you turn them on, get where I'm going. Yeah, Pinot. Pinot sounds kind of malish right now. Anyway, it goes good with grilled salmon, pescatarian salmon. I can dig it. I'm gonna be honest with you, I can dig it. Mushroom dishes. Mushrooms are the shit. If you don't like mushrooms, man, you need to get out and try some different types of mushrooms. Don't just get the little white ones that they have in your grocery store and they already like pre-chopped and shit. Don't just go out and try some mushrooms. Mushrooms are not only the shit, but they are actually healthy for you. Do some research. Duck or chicken. Duck and chicken don't taste the same. Before I stopped eating meat, duck was pretty good. It was one of the things I used to always treat myself to as a special. Yeah. Now, moving right along to this Barbera. This is the bonus one. This is my New Year's drink, or at least for right now. I think it's tasty. It's flavorful. But that first sip don't tell you nothing. Medium tannins. Fruity.
Yummy.
Oh, it is fruity. Now, it's been sitting for a year. I bought this a year ago, so it had a little bit of time to age. Oh, wow. I could probably have this with some pasta, some mushrooms in that pasta instead of meat, or anything else that's got like tomato base, maybe like chili, lasagna, a good pizza, like margarita pizza or something that's gotten like a nice robust tomato taste. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you what else you can get this with. I hit that back palate. Got a little cork in here too. I probably would drink it with a burger, a shrimp dish, probably some lobster. I tell you mussel and calamari, but if I'm doing mussel and calamari, I'm probably not gonna have this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm probably gonna give me a nice little white. I wouldn't even mess this up with that. Only because a lot of the calamari I've had, it's been cooked in white wine sauce. I don't know if I've ever had one cooked in red wine sauce. So I think that would kind of like mess it up. So, I'm gonna give you a little bit of history of the Barbera. As I said earlier, this Don Milano, good look at it. You want to zoom it in, if your phone would do that, just zoom it in. If I zoom in, it's gonna come out the light. So you zoom in so you can get what you want right there. Okay, the Don Milano is from Piedmont, Italy, as I once said. So it was established, the winery, the Don Milano Winery, was established in 1890. So it's an old winery, which means it's got generations of families that's been running it. So the family still owns it. So, it's, I guess they have a secret recipe. The native grape variety of Piedmont, and this showcases that grape beautifully. The Barbera, that is, not Don Milano. D'Asti. D'Asti is a region in Piedmont where this come from. So, and they make some of the best, if not the best, Barberas in the world, along with some other wines that you may see D'Asti on. When I was into Moscato, I loved Moscato D'Astis. Yes, I'm used to drink sweet wines. If you don't know, now you know. So, with this, it's 100% Barbera grapes. It's one of Italy's most popular red grapes, known for high acidity and vibrant fruitiness. Now, let's back up. Remember, I said it is very fruity, which it is. It's fruit forward. It's deliciously fruit forward. This is a 2021 vintage, and it was a good year for Piedmont grapes. Its balance of warmth and rainfall resulted in ripe, flavorful grapes. The balance in the terroir, the area terroir, we'll get into that. If I haven't already covered it, we'll cover it in another episode. Or you can do some of your research of your own. Do a little research of your own and find out what terroir is. Terroir. It's bursting with red cherries, yes it is, and plum. I can honestly say that. It's got hints of spice and earth. Now, it is earthy, but I personally, I don't feel the spiciness in this. It is a little earthy though. I can say that. It's medium body. Yes, I will agree, although I would have thought it a little bit more on the lighter side, like maybe light to medium, somewhere in there. It's supposed to have bright acidity, juicy red fruit flavors. So we keep saying this. So yes, oak influence. I'm not too much in the oak at all either, but it is smooth and it has a nice finish. Very nice. This is supposed to be a tasting. This is why I'm the wineaholic. I like full tastings. I don't like mini tastings, but I get it why you do it. And I also appreciate the fact that some places when they give you a tasting, they don't give you that, like a 2-ounce pour, maybe 3-ounce pour. They might give you like a 4 or 5. They give you a nice little amount, If you get to find you a nice little spot like that, wine bar, restaurant with wine theme, restaurant just have a good wine, vineyard, winery, and they pour that first flight shot, you know you got something that you're going to feel by the end of the night. So, clean, refreshing, with the lingering notes of tart cherries. Geez, going back to that cherry. And this is actually on point. It's not just, I'm reading what they claim this is supposed to be. But I'm also telling you, from my tasting, yes. Now, I don't, the spice, I don't know where the fuck they got that from. But the cherries and the plum, medium body, I'll go with that. Mild tannins, yes. And that cherry is really there. So if you like wines with a cherry like taste to it, you'll probably like this. I can't imagine you wouldn't. I like it. We're gonna get to that in a hot second too. So, if you want to pair this with something, they claim it should be done with pasta, tomato-based, risotto, roasted meat, or even aged cheese. I'm not really into cheese like that. I don't know why. I mean, if you put it on a pizza, yeah, on a burger, that's pretty about the extent of my cheese. And even then, sometimes I'm dealing with vegan cheese, just to be honest with you. So cheese trays and stuff, I don't really get into them. I don't get it. So it's a traditional Italian craftsmanship and is from modern wine making techniques. One of my damn dogs that got in here. One is modern wine tasting making techniques. It's approachable for casual wine enthusiasts, such as myself, or rewarding for connoisseurs, such as myself. How can you be both? Because I'm the wineaholic. That's how I'm both. I'm trying to get you all there. So, I would personally, I'm just going to put it out there, I would personally show up to your house with a bottle of Barbera if I felt like I wanted something different that I haven't, I've had this now, but if I just wanted something different and I wanted to bring you onto something different. That's what I like to do. Experiment with wines. Don't just stick to one type. You know, I get it. People have their go-tos, what they love, you know, things they like. But when you immerse yourself into the world of wine, it's not meant to just go out and buy a handful of different types of wine. It's meant for you to keep evolving and to learn more about the lifestyle, more about the culture, to actually get out and experiment with different wines. So I'm going to give you an example. I said we were going to touch on terroir in another episode, so I'm just going to briefly go into this. Terroir is everything that goes into the growing of your grapes per se. So what makes the wine different and unique. So what I mean by that is that you have old world and you have new world wines. That's going to the extreme when I'm about to explain for terroir, but it's easier to explain it this way. The terroir in France is different from the terroir in California. The terroir in Napa Valley is different from the terroir in Santa Barbara. Just gonna be honest about it. That's Finger Lakes is not that far from the Canadian wine country and Niagara-on-Lake, but the terroir is different. Why? Because terroir is everything: the climate, the soil, the rainfalls, how much sun it gets, you know, everything that goes into growing that grape, which is why you can have two Pinots, one old world, one new world, and they taste completely different. You'll know it's a Pinot, but there's something different about them, and you can really tell there's a distinct difference. There ain't no mistaking, you'll know. And like sometimes, like if you're not really into wine and tasting and know what to look for and flavors, notes, you know, then you'll drink something and you'll be like, okay, this doesn't taste like a Pinot to me. That's why, terroir. So when you start to appreciate things like that when it comes to wine, you'll start evolving and growing, and this will make you a much better wine enthusiast. you'll be on your way to becoming a connoisseur, a connoisseur of wine, and you'll be a wineaholic. Someone who loves the wine world, who immerses themselves in the world of wine, the entire lifestyle, learn as much as they can, and not just because they want to drink wine, but because they understand how it's made, the fascination of how that fruit, there's thousands of different varieties of that fruit, but how it can be made into a liquid that has alcohol in it, sometimes fruit in it, sometimes it's very sugary without actually having to even add sugar to it. Sometimes no sugar, just the way it was processed. The color, all the juice is white or clear. It's not this. This comes from the skins. So does the tannin. So it's just amazing. Immerse yourself in that life. Speaking of which, we did a book showing from the Wine Follies, their book. And I suggest everyone to get that book because you'll learn a lot. However, since we're on terroir and we're talking about different regions, we have this, the Wine Atlas, the World Atlas of Wine, 8th edition. It'll give you some history. It'll let you know about different areas, the grapes grown in that area. So when you go and you want to try something and give you an example, we'll go back to Pinot. You're not sure what type of Pinot you want. You don't want to turn around and say, hey, can I have a Pinot from, I don't know, Tasmania? I don't even know if they have wine in Tasmania, if they grow it there. But you don't want to say that. Then, they're looking at you like, what the hell are you talking about? They don't grow fucking Pinot there. So, yeah, it'll help you. It'll help you out a lot. Yeah. So, back to the Barbera. I really highly recommend this. This is a 2021. So, it's got a little age on it. I let it sit for a year, which is good. I probably could have let it sit for another year or so, because although it's not, it seems. Sorry about that. I was supposed to do something and I didn't do it. So we're going to have to do it. I'm going to have to really learn how to do some things that I need to be doing. So, but back to the Barbera. Yeah, I would highly suggest this. It's a nice wine. I can't say it'll be my go-to because I'm at a point now where I don't really have a go-to per se. I have some brands that I'll go to when I just want a bottle of wine, but that's just me drinking wine, not me being adventurous. And I have so many wines that I really don't have to go out and buy wine for quite some time. Plus, I belong to a wine club, so I get bottles every month. I suggest you join a club too. If you can find a club, a place that has some type of wines that you like, more than one bottle, make it worth your money. Join a wine club. If not, go online. I'll leave a link below. I don't get anything from it, at least not yet. I don't get anything from it. I don't have any affiliates, but I have bought wine offline, so I'm gonna give you a link below for a wine place, Wine Express, and you can order from there. Now, if you're looking at the prices and say they're kind of steep, my suggestion is you buy more than one bottle, so it's worth your while, and you can get a little discount. You also should know wine is not necessarily a cheap hobby by far. If you're drinking cheap wine, you're not enjoying wine properly. Spread out. Go have you something like Cocoa Bond. It's good for cheap wine. It's like $8 a bottle. But splurge a little bit. Spend $50, $60 on a bottle of wine. When you're at a restaurant, don't be surprised if what you paid $20 for, they're going to tell you that you can buy the same bottle for $35, $40, maybe even more. take your camera. I said this last time. Take your phone. Anytime you're out and you get some wine, you buy a bottle from a restaurant or you order it, ask them to bring the bottle to the table if you like and take a picture of it. If you sip it and you like it, they'll bring it for you. But be adventurous. That's a perfect time to be adventurous because you're not buying a whole bottle. You see something different on the menu that you never had before, even if it's the type of wine you like if it's a Malbec and you like Malbecs, and then you see a Malbec that you never had before, try it. That's how you keep growing. So I wish you all a very happy New Year's. Hope it's safe for you. You bring it in right. Next year be nice and prosperous for you. Keep on experimenting with wine. Put that as one of your resolutions for next year, that you will learn more about the nectar of the gods. Before one of you look at me like, the nectar of God, that's what they used to call it. Also, keep this in mind. He could have just purified water, but he made it into wine. Cheers. So, as I said earlier, you should stick around to the end because you never know what's going to be at the end. Till you see that eye. And our sponsor, 530 Digital Media, it ain't over. I have this case. It's made for one bottle. You know, it's got a little room, so you got like little wiggle room. However, it's not made for a big ass bottle like this. This one won't fit. It's too long. But I wouldn't put this in a check bag. I probably wouldn't even travel with this because you can't take wine on the actual plane itself, and there's no like cushioning in the inside, so I wouldn't take this on the put it in my check bag. But it zips. It's got a handle, so you can carry it. Excuse me. So if you're like me, and you like to take wine when you go to friends' house to drink because you know they're not gonna have what you want. Especially if they buy wine and they think that you're going to drink something cheap and fruity and extremely sweet. No. Get you a case. Nice, sturdy case. Throw your bottle in. That's what we're going to do for you this time. So I love it. I'm really done now. So y'all going about your business. Get the fuck up out of here.